Hi everyone, welcome to the next section of this lesson. In the previous video we've looked at how we can create a physical volume, a volume group and a logical volume. So in this lesson we're going to see the step-by-step process of how to create a partition or a volume using LVM. Alright, so let's verify the block devices that we have on the system. So I'm going to do lsplk to do that. Alright, so what I want to do is to create a logical volume of 3 gigabytes. Alright, so I'm going to use this disk, STB disk. Alright, so this is STB, which has 5 gig. Alright, so the first thing I need to do is to, of course, create a physical volume on this STB disk. Alright, so I'm going to use the command pv create /dev/stb. Alright, so I can also decide to partition STB into STB1, say 4 gig, and then create the physical volume on STB1 depending on what I want to do. Alright, so but now I just want to create the physical volume straight away on STB1 without partitioning STB1. Okay, so now the physical volume has been created. The next step is to create the volume group. Alright, so to create the volume group I'm going to use the command vg create followed by the name of the volume group. I can say techneed. I know we already have a technique volume group on the system, so I can just say techneed 2 volume group. Alright, and I want to create this volume group on the device STB. Alright, so you can see that the volume group has been created as well. I can verify by doing my PVS and VGS, of course. So you can see the volume group technique 2 being created, technique 2 volume group, and the PV that we created, you can see that it's also been created here, which is dev STB. Okay, so after that, the next step is to create the logical volume. Okay, and to create the logical volume, I'm going to use the command lv create. Okay, followed by the size of the logical volume, which is, did I say I wanted to create 3 gig or 4 gig? Okay, let's create the logical volume of 4 gigabytes. Alright, so followed by the name of the logical volume. I can call this techneed 2LV. Okay, then followed by the name of the volume group that I want to create the logical volume on, which is techneed 2 volume group. Okay, so you can see that the logical volume has been created. So if I do LVS, you would see that the logical volume is been created, which is 4 gig. Alright, so now we need to format the logical volume with any type of file system we want to format it with, just as what we did when we looked at the standard partitioning, which was the previous chapter. Alright, so you need to format the logical volume, which is the partition or the volume as the case may be, to a file system type so that you can be able to use the volume. Alright, so I'm going to format this to ext4. Okay, right, so followed by the device, which is the volume group. So the path, the way you write this is going to be the volume group first. Alright, then followed by the name of the logical volume. Okay, so you can use this type of device mapper, alright, depending on how you want to specify the makefs.ext4. So you can now see that this has been done. Alright, and the file system has been created on this device. Okay, so the next step is to, of course, create a mount point. Okay, so that we can map the logical volume to the mount point. And to create the mount point, you use the command mkdir. So for example, if I want to create the mount point, let's say tech need. I don't want to use technique, so it won't be confusing. So I'm just going to create the mount point Victor, for example. All right, and I'm going to map the logical volume to the mount point by using the command mount dev technique volume group. All right, technique 2 volume group, then technique 2 logical volume. All right, we're going to mount this to the mount point, which is /Victor. So you can see that this has been mounted, and to verify we can use the command df-h. You can see that this mount point is being mounted to this device. All right, so whatever thing you want to do, you can begin to do it. Anything you do on this mount point is going to begin to write on this device. Okay, so I can just set it to Victor, and then I can begin to do whatever thing I want to do here. All right, but you also know that if this system should go off, this mount point will be gone. All right, it's not going to be persistent across reboot, and to make that happen, we need to put this in the fstab file. We need to populate that fstab file. So we need the UUID, the logical volume UUID, and to get that, I'm going to use the command block ID. I can just grab this to technique. All right, technique 2 logical volume, technique 2 logical volume. This should be technique 2. Yes. Okay, sorry, there is no dash there. So you can see the UUID. So we did something like this too when we're creating the standard partition, so this shouldn't be a problem. All right, and now we can put this in the fstab file. Okay, so let's open the fstab file. Just going to put this here at the end of this file. Oops, I need to recopy this. Okay, then I need to, don't forget that you need to remove this double comma. All right, and then you need to put this mount point here, which is Victor, and you need to put the file system type, which is ext4 default. I can use 1, 2. Okay, and everything seems to be fine, so let me save the file. I can do mount -e to be sure that everything is fine. So you can see that I don't have any error associated with what we've just done. This is just talking about NFS. All right, so everything is fine. Okay, so in the next video we're going to look at how to extend or reduce the volume group, the logical volume I mean. All right, so thank you for watching, and please subscribe to this channel. Bye for now.